Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode. Another hot one here in South Louisiana. Kind of a lazy day for me. I'm on call this weekend for work, so I didn't really make any plans. Plus I'm dog sitting for my sister. You're welcome, Sarah. So the dog and I have been having a lazy day so far today, and it's towards the end of the day. I figured it's usually not as hot at this time. It's about 5 p.m. here. And I thought I'd get out and about, do a vlog, and show you guys around some more of my hometown area. Now we're in Broussard, Louisiana today, which is a suburb of Lafayette. It's a city that touches Lafayette. It's right outside, literally just a couple miles down the road from my house, where I live. So there's a couple things I want to show you. The house behind me here is called the Valcin House, or the Valcin House. It belongs to the person who basically built and established this city, or a town back in the day, whatever you want to call it, about the late 1800s time frame. Also a schoolhouse I want to show you across the street, where my daughter actually went to school for 2 years. Beautiful place, built around the same time. And there's a couple houses right across the street. It's all in this little square area, all together here, tucked in together, that were built around the same time. And just some pretty things I wanted to show you today. So I hope you enjoy it. Let's jump right in. I'll tell you all about it as we go along, and let's go. So as you can see here, it's one of the National Register of Historic Places, if I can ever get that right. I always forget the acronym for that. But it's called the Valcin House. It's circa 1876. And like I said, here Valcin Broussard, founder of what is now the city. So it is a city of Broussard, established his family home circa 1876. So not long after the Civil War. This two-story gallery-fronted Anglo-American and French-style house or home housed the Broussard family for generations. It served its industrious and thrifty community as one of the town's first polling places for their parish and state elections. Broussardville's prosperity was bound to this house and the estate of Valcin Broussard, who donated his land, among other things, for the construction of this chemin public, a road from Broussardville to St. Martinville and to Royville, which is Youngsville now, connecting Lafayette Parish to Iberia Parish. Now, for those of you who aren't from this area, don't know what that last sentence, don't know a lot of what that last sentence means, but for the locals, they understand a couple of those words and places. It's a really pretty place, though. They're actually building up this area of Broussard, or this area of town, quite a bit. And right next door, just kind of cheat a little bit and give you a hint, we're going next door over there to that. Right there, where's my finger at? Right there, that school building right there, which is built around the same time, which is actually where my daughter went to school for 2 years. And it's actually where I go to church. So I'm going to show you that next. And the schoolhouse isn't the church, it's part of the church. It's a Catholic school, which is also a church, but next to the church. It's not the same building or anything like that, but you know what I mean. So you see here, by the way, you know I'm not going to leave out a beautiful oak tree. It's a gorgeous oak tree on the property here. I would date it, on my limited expertise on oak trees since I've been doing this channel, I would date this tree to be about maybe 75 to 100 years old, something like that, maybe. The house is about 150 years old, give or take, but I don't know if that tree would be quite that old. Here's a sugar kettle. We've seen these before, huh? They use these in sugar production in South Louisiana, which is plentiful in this area, especially New Iberia area and all that. And they kind of formed it up really nicely here with little flowers and such. I guess this is a water pump here. I don't want to touch it, but that would be pretty cool if that was still working. It appears like it's still set up to work. And no fish in it or anything like that, but I like how they, and I don't know, is it a sugar kettle? It's made out of cast iron, feels like, so could be original. Again, I have, like a lot of these, I did not knock on the door and ask for permission to walk around or anything, so I'm not going to get too close up on the house, but as you can see here, through my camera lens, you can still see quite a bit of it from where we're standing here, so I'm not going to get all up and personal. If I don't have to. It's a pretty little property. Kind of reminds me of, with the gravel and all that in that big parking area, kind of reminds me of the Mouton house, if you guys want to go and take a look at that. vlog I did months ago. But a little history on this house. Built in 1876, the founder of the town of Broussard, Valsin Broussard, or Valsine, I don't know, I don't want to mispronounce that. It's like a young magnolia tree here. That's pretty. It's the oldest remaining residence in the town. And I'm sure they've kept this house up for obvious reasons, significance and all that. It's a Creole style 2-story frame house with the front end gallery that was modified in around circa 1900 time frame. And without going in the house, I don't really know what they mean by the front end gallery. With the addition of the rear wing, they say, as I'm reading here, the rear wing was added around that same time. I don't know if that means that building in the back over there, that little kind of extra building in the backyard, you can see it's all fenced in, but yeah, I don't want to intrude too much. I'm sure people come and look at this house all the time because of its significance, so I don't think they would see me as intruding or anything, but still, I don't want to just assume it. But yeah, that building in the back looks pretty dated. Wouldn't you say? It looks kind of old too, huh? Maybe that's what they mean, or maybe the rear wing of the house back here, like the back attachment of the house. A little playground and stuff back there, if you guys can see that. Wonder if that's part of the house, the property. See that back there? There's some old swing sets and such. Like I said, I don't want to just walk back there uninvited. But I guess they mean this rear extension of the house we're looking at right here in the back. Maybe that was added, the part they're talking about, that was added around 1900. Still a beautiful house though. You can tell it's dated. You can tell it's 150 years old. But I love how they kind of keep the patina of it, if that makes sense. You know, like they don't keep it too polished, or you can't tell what's original, what's not. You can tell that this house is, a lot of it's original. Maybe except for some of the siding or something. I'm sure maybe they kind of added that later, but who knows? If that's some cypress siding, then it might be original. And it was it was listed, and the house was listed on the National Register in 1983. It's actually one of 10 properties in the town of Broussard, or the city of Broussard, sorry, that are on the National Register. See, this area here, like with the parking and all that, like you see there, it makes me think that it's kind of a public place, sort of. If that makes sense. Like I could probably walk up on it and look at it and stuff. There doesn't appear to be anybody here to go inside and look around, but maybe this could be like an ARC vlog where I can come back later and see the inside, you know, with these nice front porch light bulbs that I'm sure are beautiful at night when they're lit up. These windows look pretty old. And I didn't intend to spend a whole lot of time here by any means. I just wanted to show the house. Kind of a lazy Saturday. I'm on call this weekend for work, so I didn't make any plans. I don't make plans on those weekends because, oh, here's a better view of that back building. Which I don't think this is the wing they're referencing. I think this back wing here, that back extension of the house here, that chapel looking steeple roof piece right here in front of us, that's probably the part they're talking about. For you architects out there, you could probably clarify that for me. So I guess we'll move along. I'll show you the school next, but what I was saying like a million years ago, a basketball goal right there. What I was saying forever ago, before I distracted my own self, was that I'm on call this weekend, so I don't really make plans on these weekends. I kind of just wing it. Stayed in the house most of the day because it's so hot outside, and I'm also dog sitting for my sister. You're welcome, Sarah. Max is doing just fine. Having a boys' day with me and the dog and just relaxing. It's nice to have a dog in the house because I haven't had one in years. So look at this house right here. I just think it's pretty neat. I love the style of it. It looks like something that'd be on the West Coast or something. Almost like a little Italian villa looking building. A little statue in the Mary out front. So that's pretty nice. These old wagon wheels on the front, tractor wheels. I love things like this. Might be part of the school also. There's a closer view of the school. We're going to be out in front of it in a second. There's another beautiful oak tree across the street right here. And the house that it's in front of is pretty nice too. And this house also has kind of like this, almost like a Los Angeles, California kind of look to it. You see a lot of houses like this in LA. Like these little villas looking houses, you know, like a villa, like a hacienda type of thing. Look at this vegetation around this oak tree. This is so pretty. I'd say this oak tree is easily $250. In years, obviously. But look at this house. It's almost hidden behind this oak tree. It's almost like you have to like look for the house behind the tree. I mean, these are low. I could pretty much pull myself up onto this branch and just sit on it right here. All of this is low hanging. It almost has like a you can see it here, like a vegetation growth on the branches. It's beautiful. Oh, I love this house. Again, I'm not going to go too close because this is obviously probably some private property, but this branch goes it snakes all the way down, crosses over the sidewalk here, and then it's like it's producing another tree here. That branch, that's a branch that just kind of creates another tree here. It's so amazing. Another little sugar kettle there, smaller one. Man, that's pretty. Another beautiful oak tree. Look at this one. Man, Broussard's coming with it today. Go ahead, Broussard, Louisiana. I'd say this one's probably close to about the same age. I'd say 175, 200 years old. I'm just speculating here because I've obviously focused a lot on lots of oak trees over the last years. Over the last year almost since I started doing this channel. And look at this beautiful house. This is like a Victorian style house right here. Charles B.O. house, circa 1907. Wow. And the lawn on this one's really nice too. All these oak trees, the branches just go so low. I love that. So it was built in 1907 by Charles B.O. And it's not a Victorian, it's actually a Queen Anne colonial revival. I think we've seen other houses before that are that same style. Check out this driveway. If I don't trip over myself. But it kind of starts out as like a sidewalk there and then turns into this, not even, I guess it used to be maybe a driveway back in the day, but almost has like that Roman, whatever you call it, you know, least that's what it looks like to me, but it's beautiful. But anyway, it's the Queen Anne Colonial Revival style residence with an ionic front gallery and a semi-octagonal bay, which is probably that window, that bay window looking right there in the front underneath that steeple roof right there. And this was also listed on the National Register in 1983. And people probably live here. I see cars back there and stuff, but how pretty is this? When I see things like this and places like this, I forget that it's basically in my hometown almost, you know? It's just so pretty. It's right across the street from the school. And it's St. Cecilia School. If I could find the, here we go. So the school was dedicated on August 25th, 1909 by Father Arthur Drossertz, pastor of Sacred Heart Church in Broussard, and opened on September 15th, 1909. Wow. With an enrollment of 70 students, accredited as an elementary and secondary school by the State Department of Education in 1922. The high school department closed in 1964 by order of the Bishop of Lafayette in a movement to consolidate Catholic high schools in Lafayette Parish. It was also listed on the National Register in 1983. Beautiful building. Some more gorgeous oak trees out in the front here. I like this little, this is lit up at night. It's almost a grotto, small, tiny little grotto looking Mary statue set up here. And on that marquee right there, a few months ago, my daughter's really a great reader. When she was a little baby, I say a little baby, when she was like 2-3 years old, she was really a really good reader. We noticed that, her mom and I noticed that she loved to read. She loved to have us read to her, and that's just her thing. Everybody's got their thing, and she's a great reader. So in kindergarten, she got the reading award in her class for being the outstanding reader out of her whole class. And then in first grade again, just a few months ago, she got that award again. Before she started her kindergarten year here, we had her stand on the top of these steps and take a picture. And she was so small at that time, and she, with these, you know, the stairs are about, I don't know, 12 to 13 steps or something like that, and she looked so tiny on the top of them. But it's a great school though. Nothing but great things to say about it. So the memorial here, memorial to the unborn. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Jeremiah 1:5. The loving memory of the innocent victims of abortion. Wow. And I just love this. It just looks like an old schoolhouse, doesn't it? Very stately looking and very well taken care of. Love these places. Almost looks like the White House, how these windows are so close to the ground and the way they're shaped. I'm wondering, being that it was built in 1909, not long after that time period where they were still building houses, as you've seen in other vlogs of mine, some of these places and houses were built with the first level open, like open air, and then so technically that would be like the first floor and the second floor or whatever. So I'm wondering if they filled this in later on, or if it was just built that way to start, or, you know, to start with. All right, guys, so you can see we're on the, you can see the church in the background there. That's where we were just a minute ago. And I'm making my way up Main Street, I guess, or down Main Street. And I was saying how there's a couple of Victorian houses and such, or maybe some more of the Queen Anne colonials. But here's one called the Alphonse Como House, circa 1905. Another beauty. See if I can get a more broad angle for you guys. without getting on people's property. Gorgeous house though. Beautiful magnolia tree here in the front. I could spend all day looking at places like this. In 1905. And look how pretty. Just got that octagonal bay that we talked about a while ago with that other house right here in the front. Man, this is pretty. I guess I'll go ahead and walk over here so I can also show you guys the Victorian. Now, it's not called the Victorian because of this. I mean, the actual name of the house is called the Victorian. It's a business, it's a venue. They have weddings here and all that. And so I've been here multiple times with my photo booth. Here's a side of it. And the venue part of it is, well, they do things inside the house too, but the venue part, like the courtyard and all that's back there. Let's see if I can give you guys a glimpse of that. But, so that's the Victorian, and I'm showing you, so I don't get too distracted here. You know how I get. Here's a side of this beautiful place here. There's another octagonal piece of architecture there. I like that that look. I bet that opens up a room hugely inside. This nice back porch area. The house really opens up when you get on the look at the side of it, doesn't it? And there's obviously people here, so I don't want to go in the yard or anything, but look at this. Man, I love this stuff. I could find myself a good Victorian one day. I've been saying it for a long time, but one of these days, there's a garage right there, detached garage. I'll keep walking here. Look at these pretty flowers. Trying to blind you with the sunlight here, but man, look at this place. And right across the street is the Victorian. And I'll show you the back little courtyard here. This place is a little bit more public because of all the events they have here and all that. I know they won't mind if I just film around. Man, that pool, I want to say that pool is new. Let's see back there, they do events back there in that courtyard. It's all concreted out back there, as you can see. See if I can zoom in for you. Big concrete area. And they'll set up a big tent. It's usually covered by a big tent, and that whole piece back there is an indoor area, like an indoor venue, I guess, you know. And like a big, you know, like the big tents I'm talking about, like a big event tent. I mean, you walk up and they set the doors up right here, and you walk right up to it and walk inside, but they don't have it up right now. I don't know if it's because it's a seasonal thing or what. Check this out. Another fountain over here. Not being used at the moment. There's a view. Nice big oak tree here in the back with the gazebo behind it. The back view of the house. I'm pretty sure, and I could just be mistaken because it's been a few years since I've been here, but I don't remember that pool being there. Again, this is a public place, but I still don't want to get... You just never know. I don't want to get too close to it and all in their business, you know. But gorgeous house. Very pretty on the inside too. One of these days I'll see about I'll get in touch with these people and see if I can do a tour of the inside, because it's, I guess it's pretty public place for the most part. I'm sure they wouldn't mind at all. I love that, what do you call that, a rotunda roof ceiling right there? That bell roof looking thing. You see that on old banks a lot. I've seen that before. Also got that octagonal shape right there on the front corner. Yeah, but this one's called the Victorian. And I don't know, maybe it, maybe it got bought out because that tent isn't up anymore and they put a pool in, which isn't very typical for a public place that where there's venues or that's being conducted as or used as a venue place. So maybe it got bought out by a private privately owned now. You know what I mean? Bernard, you see that up there? Bernard 1902. Can you see that up there? That building's 121 years old. I like that. But yeah, Broussard's got quite a few houses and things like this to look at. It's a nice place to visit. I advise all of you, or I would highly suggest if you're in this area and you want to see some things like this, some houses and buildings like this, you come take a look. It's a very quaint, quiet place. Plenty of places to park and all that. Go ahead and cross the street. I'm jaywalking. All right. Now, I don't know much about this house. I've always seen it. I don't know what the name of it is or whatever, the history of it, but it's still pretty grand. And it's right here on the corner of Main Street and whatever this street is on the side of it there. I'm not too sure what that street is. This one looks like another Victorian though. Or that Queen Anne Colonial. Gotta give you guys some little zoom action here. It's like some wedding dresses going on in there if I don't trip on myself on the sidewalk here. Maybe this is a business too. I just don't know. Sure is pretty though. I could spend a whole day looking at places like this. There are some other cities and towns in this area outside of Lafayette and all that that have that are lined with houses like this. One of them's New Iberia, one of them's Jeanerette. Two different cities that are butt up against each other, and they have a lot of houses like this, basically that line the street for a ways. And I'm going to be showing you guys all that one of these days. So anyway, I'll sign off with y'all looking at my shadow, just to be artistic about it. But I hope you enjoyed this vlog, and I hope that you enjoyed the houses in the school and the little in-between houses that I showed you along the way, the beautiful oak trees and all that stuff. And with that, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend and that you are relaxing and it's not too hot like it is here. And I love you all. God bless you all. And see you in the next one, guys. Signing off from Broussard, Louisiana. Goodbye.